Okay, so now that we know everyone will be appropriately dressed and wearing comfortable shoes, Chris, I hope you can take some of the mystery out of how sorority members are selected during recruitment.
It can seem like a pretty big mystery, but believe me, it works. It's an amazing process that has been developed through time, and it really does work. Recruitment is a mutual selection process, and that is something to keep in mind through the entire process. You will be selecting a sorority chapter, and that sorority chapter will be selecting you. And the process that you'll go through is very detailed, but it truly does work. And you, at the end of the process, will be matched with a chapter where you find yourself. And I think Maggie gave great advice about representing who you are. And you will find a chapter that you're meant to be a part of. And not just for your 4 years of college, but for essentially a lifetime. But when you arrive on campus and you filled out the application, you've got your recruitment clothes together, you have got your recommendation letters, and you're really excited, and you get there, you'll be assigned a recruitment counselor. A recruitment counselor is a member of a sorority on that campus, and she disaffiliates for that week of recruitment, which means that she is not a member of her organization. She doesn't communicate with her chapter, but she is there to assist you as a potential new member. So for the moms here, we used to call potential new members rushies, and we used to call it Rush. And we changed those names probably about 15 years ago because it didn't really reflect what we were doing. So you'll see, and I get advertisements for, this is a perfect dress for Rush. And we call it recruitment because that's essentially what we're doing. But it can seem like a rush. But those recruitment counselors, and a lot of campuses call them by different names, are there for you. They've been trained, they work with a group, and they're assigned 10 to 15 potential new members, or PNMs. We like a lot of acronyms in sorority and fraternity. But you'll be assigned this PNM group, and you'll be working with your recruitment counselor. So she'll take you, and the first day, you'll visit all of the chapters on that campus. Now, first round may be broken into 2 days, because at the University of Georgia, for example, there are a lot of chapters. At Auburn or University of Alabama, there are a lot of chapters. So you'll be visiting, round one might take place over 2 days. So after that first round, and after every round after that, you will meet with your potential new member, your recruitment counselor, your PNM recruitment counselor, and you will rank the chapters in which you visited that day. So for the first round, you'll rank all of those chapters. And it's a computerized process now. So we used to do a process, and for the moms here will remember, if you are a member of a sorority, you went through, you received invitations to the next round of recruitment. And so you met with your recruitment counselor, and we called it post office, and she gave you an envelope with the invitations that you've been asked back to the next round. Well, in the age of computers, and it's much easier now, and particularly when there are 1,700 women at the University of Alabama that go through recruitment, which it makes it a whole lot easier. But you'll go into a computer lab on most campuses, and you will place the chapters in order that you want to attend. So for the first round, your order of chapters by priority is placed. The potential new member places those in that computer program. The chapters are doing the same process. And then after those two, the potential new member enters her information and the chapters enter their information, the computer matches that information. So it's a process that happens after each round of recruitment. After the first round, then it gradually becomes fewer chapters. And so this is the mutual selection process. So the first round at a large university might be 15 chapters that you attend. The next round maybe 10. The next is 5, and the next is 3 or 2. So each campus follows a different process, depending on the number of groups on their campus. So it's a mutual selection process that works its way, and in trusting the process is really key to the success of this. Each of the chapters are given a different number that they can invite back for each round. And that number is based on a lot of different factors. So rarely are those decisions made by that 5-minute, 10-minute meeting during the first round of recruitment. Some of those first rounds of recruitment last 30 minutes, some last 15, some last 45. But rarely are decisions made based upon what you're wearing or the conversation that you had when you were matched and came into a chapter house. They are based a lot of the times similar to, and going back to the application process, how colleges and universities are making their admissions decisions, or how organizations are making their hiring decisions in a resume. So your resume, your GPA, your activities, your test scores, the recommendations that you have, the friends that you have in that chapter have to have an influence on the invitations back to the next round. But it's important to remember, and I can't say it enough, about trusting the process and that it truly does work.